Stefan. Happy Tuesday. How you doing? Appreciate you saying hello, dropping into the chat and saying hello. Is it Taco Tuesday for you, Stefan? Is it Taco Tuesday? Or is it just whatever comes up? Whatever comes up. I'm doing fine. How are you? I'm doing good. I'm doing good. It feels good out here. It feels good to be outside. The heat is not as bad today. So today the heat is not as bad. So that's a good thing. Like when it's kind of breezy, it's not a strong breeze, but it's breezy enough where like it's a nice day to take a stroll, but I want to do a brisk walk, but I've been exercising all day. Like, to be honest, I've been exercising all day. So when I like that, a lot of times I'll just take a stroll. So tomorrow is Wednesday, of course, hump day. Of course, it's hump day. Look, we're almost what? Almost a week removed from the 4th of July. Almost a week removed from the 4th of July. Hello. Good. Yeah, she always leaves me. Yeah, I got a partner today. She's left me already, though. She's left me already. It is going by so fast. It's going by so fast, Stefan. It's like, and I know we say that all the time, or a lot of times, but I'm not gonna lie. I don't know if it's because it's an election year or what, but it seems like 2024 is really flying by fast. It's really flying by fast. It's like every holiday, it seems like it was just yesterday. You know, and it's July already, so we know it wasn't just yesterday. But it just feels like every holiday was just yesterday. So I'm like, wow, slow down, slow down. That's why I always say, you know, a lot of times people are like, ugh, it's Monday. I'm like, enjoy your Monday. I know it's the first day of the week as far as the work week, and sometimes that can be hard. Thank you, Adrian. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yes, getting those steps in. Hopefully we're going to hit 10,000 in just this short period of time. Thank you for dropping into the chat and being encouraging. I appreciate you. Thank you again, Stefan. I appreciate you for dropping into the chat. So yes, y'all feel that breeze? Look, do y'all feel that? Do y'all hear that? Do y'all hear that wind? It feels so nice. It's been so hot. It's been a heat wave across the country. Right, Stefan. It seemed like just 2023 a month ago. And it's like you go each month has a holiday. I think each month has a holiday. Pretty much. I think there are like 2 months that may not have like a national holiday. I don't think there's a national holiday in August. Let's see. Yeah, maybe it's just August. Cause we got January, we got January 1st. Hey Annie, welcome into the chat. Good evening, Lance Pride. Hi chat. Annie says hello everybody. Y'all, that wind feels so good. I'm telling you, it's a heat wave. We got I think a lot of people are getting a break due to the hurricane. I know I talked to Miss Jazzy last night, and that there are a lot of people that are still without power. Hopefully, that's gotten better today. So for everyone who lost power due to the hurricane, hopefully, you know, everybody's almost back. Their power's back on. But I think the hurricane is like, oh my goodness, it's giving that breeze, that wind from it. It's giving a lot of states a break. Isn't that funny how a hurricane that maybe kind of hits landfall in one state can just affect the weather of so many states around it? So many states around it. Hey, Vaughn. Welcome into the chat, Vaughn. So that is so funny how the weather from that hurricane can go all the way up. My family in Chicago, my family in Michigan. They say it felt like, I don't know if it's just a mind thing, but my family in Cleveland, they say that it felt a little bit better today, and they were trying to correlate that with the hurricane. But you know what? They might be right, because those hurricanes, when they touch down, you know, especially the ones like the category 4 and 5s, they do a lot. They do a lot. You know, tornadoes spin off from hurricanes. Lions, I appreciate that. Of course, I want the thumbs up, okay? I want a thumbs up from everybody that comes. If you drop into the chat, because all you got to do is double tap the screen. But guess what? I'm not going to fuss about that, okay? We're not going to fall out about that, because guess what? You can support just by being here and saying hello. You can support even if you don't want to say anything in the chat. If you watch a few seconds, if you haven't subscribed, you can subscribe. That's support. Okay, you can tap that notification bell and get all. That's a way of supporting. Okay, there are so many ways to support. So I don't fuss about the thumbs up. I appreciate them. I like them. And we all want them, right? We all want those thumbs, right? We all want them. But we got to appreciate our subscribers for what they do, right? For what they do. You're spending some time with me, whether it's a second, 10 seconds, 10 minutes. I appreciate you. And I will always say that to you guys. You know, I know a lot of times being a content creator and being a subscriber, pretty much if you have a Gmail, you have a YouTube channel. Whether you choose to utilize it or not, that's, you know, utilizing it is just being a subscriber. It's just supporting other people utilizing it. But I think I hear so many people complaining about YouTube, and I've complained about some stuff. You know, sometimes your views get low. It seems like they're not pushing you out. But guess what? We're still using their platform, right? So I want to say I appreciate the subscribers, and I appreciate the content creators / subscribers, and I appreciate YouTube. Okay, I appreciate YouTube. Yeah, do I fuss? Yep. But I'm not gonna run that in the ground. Okay? Because they can take the platform away, right? And y'all, tell me, what do you think some people would do if they did take it away? What would some people do? That's like a Tuesday topic. What would people do if they took not only YouTube, but TikTok? Because the first thing people are going to say is, well, if they take YouTube, that's just more business for Facebook, TikTok, or, you know, all these other newer platforms, right? Well, what if they took all of them away? What if they took all of them away? The tropical heat makes it feel hot when the storm leaves. Yeah, oh, yes, that fun when it leaves, yeah, it feels hot. It does. But like right in the kind of the midst of it, oh my gosh. It's that old school kind of feel. Hey, Danny. Just Danny, all of me 100. I'm listening, shared. I hit that button and sending love to you and everyone in here. Thank you, Queen. Thank you, Danny. I appreciate you. You know I appreciate you, girl. Girl, look. Danny, Annie, we go way, 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 way back. There are a lot of people in here. We go way back. Stefan. Okay. I haven't known Stefan as long, but let me tell you something. Stefan is a great supporter. I see Stefan in certain chats, and he supports, okay? He's a great supporter. He contributes to the chat. And as content creators, I think that's all we can ask for. You know, we can ask for a lot, but if you get any of those things, a person to subscribe who hasn't already subscribed, right? Get them to tap the notification bell and select all, right? Okay? Share when people share you out. The thumbs up, okay? And leaving a comment. Also, when the live is over, leaving a comment when it's over. during the replay. Okay? Like I said, I don't care too much about the thumbs up and the shares because I feel like, you know, it is what it is. Appreciate what they do. Even the people who just scroll by, if they stop for a few seconds, maybe they didn't want to for whatever reason. I don't hold that against people, but I appreciate it. Love and respect. You know it's right back 100% to you, Danny. You know it. Annie a lot says a lot of people depend on these apps for their livelihood. Oh my gosh. And yes, and I have not understood that. You know what? And they really do. They really, really, really do. They depend on the apps for their livelihood. And I'm like, why? Why? Now, if you have been fortunate enough to be able to, you know, create a platform, not create a platform, but to have a platform where you have been financially successful, I guess create your own platform on this platform, you know, where you can be financially successful. That is a great thing. That's a great thing. But I think sometimes people forget that there are millions of people with that goal. There are millions of people with that goal. And it's just like with anything else, only so many are going to be like successful to a degree where you can consider that your work, right? You can consider that your work. Sometimes it's so sad seeing people on here like fussing and complaining. That's why I say I appreciate the app. I appreciate YouTube because I've always said and I always say it was meant for educating, networking, teaching, learning, you know, entertainment purposes. Sometimes the entertainment is kind of negative, but hey, it is what it is. That's just with life, with human beings. Anyway, they're gonna always create what the negative side is always gonna create a lot of chaos. But I just feel like that's what it was for. Now, when they started to offer the opportunity of making a penny, oh my gosh, that's where a lot of people, that's where it went left for a lot of people. It's their job just like any other job. Yes, and it is. And when people are really successful, you know, and they can submit that, what do you get, like a 1099? I don't think you get a W-2 if you're a content creator. I think it's like a 1099. Now, if you know, you don't have to make a whole lot of money to get that. You know, any money that you make, if you're a part of the partnership program, they're going to send you that if you make money. But what is sad is when I see people sacrifice their integrity. Because we all know what the percentage is, right? The percentage is like maybe 40, 60, 45, 55, something like that. That's theirs before you get taxed. So I really do hate sometimes seeing people like just fussing at YouTube. Like, I'm like, man, like they're fussing at it. They're fussing about it because sometimes they're not satisfied. Sometimes they're not getting the views they want to get. Guess what? Everybody goes through that cycle. Where you're not going to get the views that you want. Then you'll have a cycle where you're getting views out the yin yang. Like, you're getting views out the yin yang. You know, they got to let everybody try. They gotta push everybody. And you know, this World Wide Web, it's kind of like cyber. It's like it can only hold and tolerate so much. It can only hold and tolerate so much. The best part of this platform is it gives you a place to be you. Yes. The sad part is most become the worst part of them. Come on, Danny. Come on. Because the worst part of themselves. Social media can make or break you. The choice is yours. That's right. Right, Annie. I agree with that too. I agree with Danny on that too. So a lot of times it's like when people say the world we're living in, no, it's the people. It's the people, right? It's the people that make it seem so chaotic. Okay? And it's the people who can also make it not be that way, right? So when it comes to the app, people will do anything. Some people, not all, some people will do and say anything to justify their actions, you know, to justify their actions that aren't so. Sometimes it don't have to be that they're bad or the intentions are even bad. But let me tell y'all something. When it comes to money, sometimes just 1 red cent, a penny, people will do the most. And they'll find all types of ways to justify it. And when I say do the most, I'm not talking about all negativity, right? I'm just talking about integrity. You know, it doesn't always have to be a negative thing to sacrifice when you're sacrificing your integrity, at initial thought, I'm thinking that's got to be negative. But sometimes it's not negative. Sometimes it's these words that we created, like hungry, thirsty, you know. And it's okay to be hungry and thirsty, but sometimes it's not becoming. Sometimes it's not becoming. What Stefan says, yes, I have to take breaks because YouTube it gets too negative sometimes, and I don't want energy transferring to. Hey, Stefan, I agree with that too, Annie. Hey, Betty. Hello, Retirement Days. Welcome to the chat. I agree with that too. And it's like, I'll be petty. I'll be petty sometimes, and sometimes, you know, if you got to come with the come on, you got to come with the come on. Like sometimes people just won't allow you to just be, you know, like Danny said, they give us a platform to allow us to be you. It says you too. You know, with that, you would feel like, or you would think that people would have the freedom to be them. And we do have that freedom, but sometimes people come to the platform and just rip people to shreds. Y'all, I saw a lady crying yesterday. She was crying so hard. She was actually like, I'm not going to diagnose, because like I always say over here, we don't professionally, medically, or clinically assess, diagnose, treat, or evaluate. But from a layman's perspective, from a layman's point of view, what I saw was her kind of having I'll say, lightweight meltdown, okay? Just a lightweight Annie, let's see, let me slow down a little bit so I can see. Yep, just, yeah. Danny, it's the people, right? We say it's a crazy world we live in. No, it's the people. Same with the apps. The apps, you can make the best of it, and you can make the worst of it. And there are too many people willfully and willing to make the worst of it. You know, and not for themselves, but usually it's for other people. And that is so sad. It reminds you of being picked on in school sometimes. And she was crying because the great thing is this platform has whatever you want, or you're right, or like good or bad. Again, the choice is yours. Yes. But you know, Danny, like that, I'm gonna take that to when Annie said, "Why was the lady crying?" She's just sharing herself and her family, right? It says you too, and we know this, just like they always want to compare it to celebrities. Well, sometimes I guess we have YouTube or social media celebrities, right? And sometimes people will almost make you a celebrity, whether you want to be or not. But she was crying because she just does things with her family that maybe all of the people who watch her don't agree with, right? And so now you got these channels popping up, you just badgering, criticizing in the most negative ways. And there have been some things that looked a little questionable to me that I didn't like, but overall, I like her and her family. You know, sometimes it's about what works for you. In other words, you too. And I feel like if it's something that you don't like, just keep scrolling. Keep scrolling, or find something that you do like. But sometimes it just seems like certain people are always looking to find the something to criticize. Do y'all feel that sometimes? Like some people are always looking for something to criticize, as if they're just Johnny go rightly all the time. That's what made, like, she was so upset, and she was just like, they were talking about the way she's raising her kids. And again, I don't see her doing anything on camera that would hurt them. I do see her do some things, she's married with 4 kids. I do see her do some things that are kind of, I wouldn't do it myself, but I also wouldn't create a channel to badger her about it. You know, I wouldn't create a channel to badger her about it. So it's like Danny says, you can make the best of it or the worst of it. But when you're trying to make the best of it, and then you see people latch on to you all because they see. Let me tell y'all what I heard. I listened to a couple other people. She talked about it online. She cried about it, right? So I looked at a couple of the people who she named. Actually, I looked at one person, and when I looked at that one person, when I put them in the search bar, 2 or 3, like 3 or 4 actually, other people came up as well, and none of them were doing positive content. Have y'all noticed that typically when people do content on someone else, that's just a YouTuber too? And I don't take the word "just" the wrong way. I'm just saying everybody on here who's a content creator is a YouTuber. You have some who are big, you have some who are not so big, you have some who are small. Well, the first thing, I clicked on it to see what she was saying, to see what had made this young lady cry. Other than the constant badgering, verbal bullying. The first thing that I heard, one of the first things out of this lady's mouth who was doing it, she has 1 million subscribers. I'm like, damn, y'all act like that is gold. Like, when the person gets the YouTube plaque, whatever it's made of, the person who's dragging, dogging, badgering them, you don't get that. You might get your channel up to 1,000 to 3,000 subscribers doing that. But once you do that, you got to keep doing that. Then you got to find somebody else to do it too. Because they're not going to continue to come if you don't do it. But the sad part is, y'all, it's like some people it's like they get a thrill out of it. It's like they if they don't do that day, oh my gosh, it's like they live for it. And so it was just, I would say exactly what it was, but somebody might listen, and then, because you never know who's listening to you. That's another thing. Like Danny said, you just want to be you. And you should be able to say whatever you want to say on here, as long as it's not against the law. Now, will some things be talked about? Of course. When you do questionable things on YouTube, they will be talked about. On Facebook, TikTok, whatever, Instagram, they will be talked about. But there is a difference between talking about and just dragging it on and on and on just so you can get a few cash apps or super chats and a few views. But that was the first thing, one of the first things, if not the first thing she said was, she's a family channel and she has 1 million subscribers. It's when they see that kind of stuff, they latch onto it, and they start tagging and all this kind of stuff. It can be the detriment of a channel. And it's not even, it shouldn't even be that way. Right, yeah, it shouldn't even be that way. Like I said, there are some things that she does that I don't agree with. There are some things that her husband does that I don't agree with. But I wouldn't get on here and say her husband's a simp. He lets her do whatever. I don't know what's going on in their relationship besides what I see on camera. And you guys know a lot of times the stuff on camera is like for show. It's for you too. But then people just can make you feel like you shouldn't be on the platform, like you didn't pay your bill or something. But it just amazes me that the justification in all of that is they put it on YouTube. It's YouTube, it's UTV, like it's them. They can do that. If you don't like it, they also created the scroll option. They also created the do not recommend option. So instead of, if someone is doing something on a channel that I don't like, I'm not going to say, oh, they put it on YouTube and then take it to the next negative level. I'm just going to stop. I'm just going to hit do not recommend, And I might discuss it. I might talk about it like we're talking about this. But I ain't got time to be trying to, it's like the penny isn't that pretty. The penny isn't that pretty. Like I was saying the other day, you can go to Walmart. But what some of them on here are fussing about, $100 a month. That's the threshold, right? So you make that $100, they taxing you more than the government. Because what you get, maybe 50, 55, I don't even know. It's crazy. I say even if you get $70, if they take 30% of it, which I think is more now, you get $70. Then the government's got to get their portion because they're going to tax you. You know, you may not have to pay taxes right then. See, I'm just not so into it. I don't even know. I don't know if they tax it then or if they just send you the $70. Like if it's 70, 30%, maybe they send you $30, $70, and then at the end of the year, the government and you have your situation, you have your conversation, right? So I'm like, do you know how much you got to do to maybe get $500? You can go and be a greeter at Walmart. Like you can go and do the register for like 2 days out of the month and get what some people are on here fussing about. And so that's why I say I appreciate you guys. I appreciate the subscribers. I appreciate the content creators. I appreciate the content creators, of course, who are also subscribers who are also content creators. And I appreciate YouTube because like Danny said, it's a platform. It's afforded to you to do what you want to do. You can make the best of it. You can make the worst of it. But the sad part about it is sometimes when we're trying to make the best of it, somebody else is making the worst of it, you know, about somebody else. And that's just sad. But she was crying, you know, because a couple of them, they just won't stop, y'all. She was just like, this is enough. Like, it is enough. What do you want from me? It was actually, honestly, a true Tyrese moment. Like, what more do you want from me? She's talking about how she does classes and she offers those type of things to help people. But nobody wants to talk about that. They just want to say she does the most for YouTube to make money. And she was like, YouTube is just one of her streams of income. It's just one of her streams of income. And it's an interesting channel. You know, it's an interracial couple, 4 boys. And they're silly. They have fun. Who's not going to want to watch that? Now, again, she does some things that I feel like maybe she shouldn't do on there. That maybe she thinks is cute. She thinks it's funny. But let me tell you, you can do the most innocent thing sometimes, y'all. You can do the most innocent thing and somebody will make a big deal out of it. They will make a whole month-long conversation about it, you know, and then by the time they're done with it, they've latched on to the next thing that's kind of innocent about you. And that's why she was crying. It's like, it's nonstop. The lady that she was talking about specifically, she was like, you did this. You said you didn't like it when I did that. Okay, well, you finally stopped talking about that. Now you don't like it because I did something else. You know, it's like, when do you just stop? Like, when do you just stop? Annie says, facts, Stefan. Betty was saying hello to everybody. Thank you, Betty, for coming in. I hope you're still here. If you're not, I do appreciate you. Just Danny said, I do feel like people are too judgmental. Yes, Danny, yes. They're too judgmental. And again, the first thing they say to justify it is that you put it on YouTube. So if that's the case, if that's how they feel, what is it about that person that you determined to pick that person out? Because do you know how many millions of people are on YouTube doing some things that you may not like? Sorry about that, y'all. It's train. So what makes you just badger one person or 2 people all the time? I don't get that. Having a conversation about something that we see on here, having a teachable moment. You know, teachable moments are much needed. But when you're just badgering somebody, they're not gonna, if she did something that they dislike, instead of making it a teachable moment, you turn it into a defensive moment because now you're offending her by the things you say, and she's going to become defensive, as she should. People are going to defend themselves. But you know what? I don't put it past them to take the video of her crying and to just do even more. You know, to do even more. She and her family just hit 1 million subscribers. And the people who are doing this, guess how many they have? 1K, 2K, 3K. I think the most I saw was 5. One of them had 5. And even that person, I kind of looked at their channel, and at least they didn't have the channel focused on her. They were talking about other people as well. But they will literally say, with no shame, I'm going to grow my channel off her. I'm like, what the hell? Like, just imagine it being someone that you love and someone close to you, someone that's going to school, and they said, I'm going to grow my grade off of her. And that's your family member, or that's you. And they're just going to grow off of you. Like, they're just going to act like a leech. That's crazy. That's crazy. Now, of course, we talk about celebrities, but people try to use that and equate that to YouTube fame. Those people are not true celebrities in the sense of the word. Now, there are some YouTubers who are big time celebrities, but most of them have moved on from YouTube once they hit that kind of fame. There are a few of them who stick with it, but a lot of them move on. So I don't know. I just think you can talk about something, you can give your opinion about it, you can be a little critical, but it's the constant. It's the constant. It's so funny how the things that we should be consistent with, a lot of times we're not. It's not we're like, not we per se, but just generally speaking, people. The things that we should be persistent with, a lot of times we're not. But if it's something that's going to cause somebody else harm or emotional distress, buddy, people can be consistent with that. Have y'all noticed that? They can be very persistent and consistent with that. And it says, unfortunately, whatever you put out here is subject to others' opinions and criticisms, good or bad. Yes, that is true. That is true, Annie. But, I mean, when you get to a point where it's every day, 2 or 3 times a day, when people are asleep, you're dropping something new. I mean, it's every day. What gives someone that right? Like, you lack morals, integrity, decency, just common sense. And then people, like I said, they will even say that that's what they're doing. So you don't know what people are already going through. You don't know what kind of emotional or mental traumas they've had or they have that they've gotten over, and you could be the trigger. And some of them don't care. They don't care. They want to be the trigger. They want to see a breakdown. They want to see people break down. Stefan says, yes, sometimes people like to make others feel bad. Yes, because they are depressed, stressed, or have mental health issues. Yep. Danny says, until it's time to do something, that's when those same people are quiet. Yes, Danny. Yes. Yes. Danny says, Stefan, that is true. And that is wrong. Mental health is real and it's not a joke. Come on, Danny. As soon as society started to take it more seriously, you have lay people trying to give the definition of what it is. People who are not formally, professionally, medically, clinically licensed or trained to make such assessments are making those assessments. Like, it's not even the thing. You know how people would talk back in the day, oh, something ain't right. Or that girl is crazy. That guy's crazy. It's gone way beyond that. You have people who will Google a term, okay, or will take their life experiences and put them on everybody else. And if it was a mental health diagnosis for someone that you know or you cannot apply that diagnosis to any and everybody else. You cannot. You can, but you look real crazy doing that. And it says, I'm not going to lie, if they out here acting a fool, I am here for the commentary, but I am very selective with it. Yeah, and now. And you already know. It's some people they putting it out here for somebody to talk about it. Y'all know some people are putting it out here for it to be talked about. Some people want that type of, fame, celebrity. They want that type of, what do you call it? Famedom. They want that type of acknowledgement. They want people to, however they can. There are still a lot of people who feel like any publicity is good publicity. So there are a lot of people who feel like any publicity is good publicity. So they'll do whatever. They don't care. They know people are going to be hypocritical. They know people are going to be critical. They know people are going to judge. So yeah, and you know it's a lot of them out here that do that. So we just, I mean, it's like that's what they want, and that's what the people give them. They give them what they want. Believe you me, if you want to get famous that way, just get on here and put something crazy on here. Put something crazy on here. Danny says, Annie, trust me, I watch all from drama to whatever is in my interest, but I don't, yes, but I don't do hate. Right, Danny, and that's what I'm talking about. It gets to a point where it feels like hate. And I'm not talking about like, oh, the overused term, she hating on me, she hating on him, she hating on her. I'm talking about it's pure hate. And then they'll be the first to say, how am I hating on you? You put it out there. Because everything should have a line. Everything should have a line. Okay? It's just like when you go to court, right? If you go to court and a professional, for God forbid, did something that they shouldn't have done, right? Guess what the courts are going to do? Or guess what the state, the prosecution, the federal, whether it's state or federal, guess what they're going to do? They're going to find other people who carry that same license, education, or who are the same type of professional that the person who's on trial is, and they're going to say, what would the average teacher have done? What would the average nurse have done? Especially if it's something that can cause harm, bodily harm. What would the average therapist have done? And they're going to get a consensus. They're probably going to talk to 2 or 3 professionals, right? So if they get 2 or 3 reputable professionals and they all say they would have done something totally opposite from that person on the stand who's being tried, then it's not gonna go real great for that person on the stand unless they got some real big connections. It's not gonna go so great. You know? It's not gonna go so great. So that's how I look at the apps. At what point would a person with average sense know when to stop? You know, at what point would a person, an average lay person in the general population, know that that is too much? So that's how I kind of look at it. Sometimes there is a such thing as too much, even if a person, you know, they did put it out here. Sometimes because sometimes, you know, people are putting things out in the universe. You have to really think about it before you do it. But sometimes people are putting things out in the universe for therapy. They want people to know that they aren't alone, or they want help. They want, what did you do? Because I know a lot of times, first thing they'll say is get a professional to help you. Everybody can't afford a professional. Everybody can't afford a professional. Everybody can't afford, you know, then you go to your state for help. They're usually fresh out of school, don't have a lot of experience. You may find one who's fresh out of school who's really good at what they do. But usually it takes someone who's been doing this a while. And a lot of times, the more seasoned social workers, therapists, they've seen so much till they're just tired. And sometimes they don't, you know, they're kind of overworked because they're short-staffed. And a lot of times they don't put all of what they need to put in it. Then you have some who are very young, who are just really learning. And like it or not, when you get a person like that, it's kind of experimental. It's kind of experimental. So honestly, to get the best therapy, usually you got to shell out the best money. Usually you got to shell out the best money. And so sometimes people just come on here sometimes thinking, well, let me just ask them about this. And you can even say it like it's somebody who's going through whatever. Don't you know those people are still going to be critical and say, nah, that's them. And they're going to run it in the ground. They're going to run it in the ground. And she's getting to the point where people who support her are saying, take a break. But that's what they want people to do. It's like people can't stand to see people be successful. I'm like, and it's like she said, that is so backwards. If you see someone being successful and the first thing that you can say is how many subscribers they have, why not be nicer to them? Not that they have to help you, because they don't. But why not take the attitude that, hey, let me connect, or let me at least pay attention to someone who's doing really well, maybe it can help me. But instead of doing that, they badger. They badger. That's what I don't like. Stefan says, facts. Once someone learns a word, then they will be using it every day, Stefan. Yes, every day. It is like, oh my gosh, hate is such an overused term. And it's so when it really does apply, you almost want to find a new word for it. You almost want to find a new word for it. Yes, Danny, supply and demand. I don't want to be a celebrity. I want to be me. Yes, without having to explain. Like it, love it, or leave it alone. Sorry, had a typo lesson. Oh, that's okay, Danny. But that's absolutely right. That's absolutely right. And I think a lot of people are trying to just be them. But you know, some people who are being genuinely themselves will, people will say they're fake. And I'm like, how do you know? Do you know them personally? How do you know that this is not them? It could be, and it could not be, because some people are on here being fake. Again, it's tube. It's YouTube. You choose to be as real as you want to be, as fake as you want to be, as scripted as you want to be. So let people be. Like, say your opinions. State your opinions. It's just the cruelty. It's the cruelty. Supply and demand. Danny says, love you, sis, and thank you, everyone, for the good talk. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And GVO. Danny, look, let me tell you something, Danny. I don't know if you're still in here, but girl, you know, I do not be knowing what these... Y'all know I do not be knowing what these abbreviations are. Okay? These acronyms. I know it's all good, sis. I thank you for coming into the chat. I appreciate you. Danny says, have a good night, y'all. Good night, Danny. And he says, hate is a strong word, and I don't. Hate is a strong word. I don't understand how anyone can hate someone who they really don't know. Yes, that is like the gist of it. Hate is a strong word, but when some of the vile and disgusting things that people do, I don't understand how they could do it. Because, like you said, Annie, in order to hate somebody, you would think that you would have to know them. Because even the people who you know, it's hard to hate them. So, well, I won't say it's hard. It's hard for some people to hate. Some people it's easy. Some people it's easy. Because if we got to be realistic. Some people just are hateful people. They're hateful people. Some people are very hateful. You know, and a lot of times it be the hateful people on here talking about what people should and shouldn't do, and you know, that's not right and that's not this. And they're the most hateful. I've seen people on here talking about other people, and then they'll say they love them though. Now I've done that. I've talked about a family member who has certain ways, but when you hear a tone that's kind of like, if you saw that person, you could rip them apart. Like sometimes I always say tone is everything. Sometimes you can listen to someone talk about somebody, and then the first thing they'll say is, I don't hate anybody. Like you said, Annie, hate is a strong word. But with the things that they're saying and the tone that they're using, you would be like, I beg to differ. I beg to differ. And look at Annie. Thank you, Annie. Good vibes only. I appreciate that, Annie. I was like, what now? Danny probably laughing at me. I do that all the time. Stefan says, yes, it is entertainment to me. I love to support. Yes, black content creators. Yes, and watch Nigerian movies on YouTube. Yes, those Nigerian movies, Stefan, those Nigerian movies are something else. I watched a couple, and I said, you know what? I need to start watching more of these. And that's what I've been doing lately. I haven't done it as much as I would like, but I just kind of got into those Nigerian movies probably within the last couple of weeks, and they are good movies. They are good movies. They always have I won't say all of them, but the ones I've seen so far have a message. They always have a good message. And it says, Stefan, I love Nigerian movies and Korean drama. Annie, for real? Now see, my kids love those. My kids love both of those. You love Indian movies too? See, that's what I need to do. Like I've been watching other content creators besides the content creators that I've normally watched for a few years. And it is like good to venture out. And this is what made me kind of like really hate it for this family channel, what for this family. It's because I'm thinking, okay, let's get into something a little bit more fun, a little bit, kind of positive. Like I said, you don't have to agree with everything that the lady and her husband do, but you're never going to agree. You're not going to agree with everything your children do. You're not going to agree with everything your friends and your family, your neighbors do. Your classmates, your work, your coworkers. You're not going to always agree, but you may even talk about it behind their backs. You may even tell them what you think they should do differently, but you're not going to badger them. You can't badger people for the decisions that they make just because you can openly see them. And I think that's where some people have that, like that entitlement that, well, if you put it there, it's for me to shred it up, rip it up however I want. And then I'm like, well, what do? You kind of want to ask them, what do they do besides that? Maurice Sam is my husband. Maurice Sam, is he in the Nigerian movies, Annie? See, I don't know. Okay, I think I watched maybe 4. I can't even remember the name of them. I know one was kind of like a working class lady and her friend. They're working, and they're kind of working for up the upper crust, the richer people in the society. And she's kind of like a daydreamer, and she ends up falling for one of the men. And in the end, they end up getting together. So I cannot remember the name of it, but that is a good one. And if I wanted to find it again, I don't know what I would do. I would put all kinds of stuff in the Google search because that's a good one. That's a good one to recommend. So there's another one where it's kind of like just drama, kind of like crime. Well, I guess it's kind of slightly mobbish like, but it was good. And another one that was a love story. So I've been kind of watching the Nigerian movies, and I want to watch more. Stefan says I watch him, Annie. Who is he, y'all? Oh, Stefan said he's sub to the channel. Both of y'all are sub to the channel. So is he Nigerian? What type of movies is he in? What do you guys like about him? Is he like action or is he like romance? What is he? What's his name? Marcus? Oh, Maurice Sam. So what is he? Is he like action, romance, drama? Because I'm gonna put him in the search bar. I'm gonna put him in the search bar so I can see him. Because I ain't gonna lie, y'all, I've been watching the couples channels and stuff like that, thinking, it won't be so. And you don't have to watch the drama that people create around another channel. But it's once you start watching people and then those people start to create that drama, it starts getting recommended to you, even the negative part. And that's so crazy to me. Like I was watching that channel, it's a family channel, and then these people, like I said, she said one of the names. So I did look for that name. But the other names, of course, in the search, you're gonna pretty much see anything that someone has said about them. And that's normal. But don't start recommending that to me. Like, don't start recommending. I watched one to see why, to understand more why she was crying. Because I understood why she was crying, but I wanted to understand exactly what happened. So I watched one of them. And I didn't even watch the one that, I don't think I watched the one that caused her to just kind of break down and cry. But I watched, one of the other ones. And I'm like, okay, I see why she's crying, and she's on there saying she's not a fighter. Like if you're trying to grow your channel, the better way to do it with her, and she would assume with any content creator, is to be positive. It's to email. She said my email address is in the about section. I even speak about doing collabs. So if that's what you want, all you have to do is email me. And if it can happen, I'm not going to say I'll do a collab with everyone who emails me, but if I can, and if your channel is about what I like, and if she said if your channel has a degree of integrity. And I can understand her saying that. She would find a time to try and do a collab with people. But no, people don't want to do that. They don't want to do that. They just want to do what they want to do. Let's see. He is just good on the eyes. And it says he's good on the eyes. Just put Nigerian movies 2024. Okay, Stefan, I will. Ooch, Ooch, is that Ooch? Nancy has good movies. Oh, wait, look at Annie and Stefan. Y'all, look, y'all got it going on with these Nigerian movies. Annie says that's her girl. I love her daughters. Yes, her daughters are great. See, Uber is so funny. You see, now see, let me, hold on. You know what? I don't have to screenshot it. I'll leave the comments. I'll make sure that the comments are left open. So I can go back and Google these people. I can put them in the search bar so I can see who y'all are talking about. Yeah, that way I'll be able to see who you're talking about. Because these people sound like good actors and actresses. See, that you know what? That's the kind of stuff you can watch at work, on your downtime at work, or when you're not busy and it seems like it's just nothing to do. You can watch that kind of stuff. So yeah, I'm gonna Maurice Sam, and I hope I'm saying her name right. I don't feel like I'm saying her name right. Is it Nancy or Uche Nancy? Uche Nancy. I don't feel like I'm saying it right, but I'm gonna look them up. But yeah, I'm gonna still watch the family channels that I have started to watch. You know, I like to watch the couples who adopt. You know, who have YouTube channels who have adopted kids. I love watching that. Those type channels. What else? I love watching. Pretty much, that's just family. That's still family. You know, it's just kind of from a different point of view, or you know, you see it like we got her with her husband raising her 4 boys. You know, doing some questionable things sometimes, but all in all, I like the vibe that she brings to YouTube. We got the families who adopt, and then you have like the new couples. You know, when people get together, new couples. So the couples channels, and then when they have their first baby, you know, stuff like that. And then of course the exercise channels. You know, they're always fun to watch, always. And I haven't said it tonight, but just look at the legs move. Watch the legs move, and hopefully you'll be motivated to get up and move your legs. It's all about movement, movement, movement. Keep moving, consistently, persistently, and at times constantly. Okay. Constantly for 30 minutes, at least 30 minutes per day, 5 days a week. Cardio, you can do it every day. You can do it every day. Weight training, resistance training, workouts, you know, each body part, work it every other day. You know, give those muscles are going to be sore. So give them a break in between. If you do it Monday, do it again Wednesday. Okay, what you do Tuesday, do that Thursday. Okay, but some people don't take breaks. They work out every day. You know, so it's not like a upper body Monday, Wednesday, lower body Tuesday, Thursday, and then the weekend they're off. It's kind of like they just keep going. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Sunday, you know, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, Tuesday, Monday, they just keep going. So just do what works for you. Always do what works for you. And as always, as I've said for over a year, every live. You can probably count the lives that I forgot to say it. Always consult your primary care provider. Be it your general practitioner, your doctor, your MD, your PA, your physician's assistant, your CNRP, certified registered nurse practitioner, your nutritionist, because it's a collaborative effort and it's a team effort. And at the forefront of the team is you. Or you can look at it as you being the center of the team. Right? You're in the center. You're the nucleus. Okay? And they're all around you trying to make sure that they're doing what's good for you, what's best for you. And if you feel like something's not right, or maybe you need to talk to someone else, you always have that right to do so. You always have that right to do so. And it says, I watch a lot of beauty and travel videos. Yes, and also home decor. Yes, now those are some great videos. Those are great videos to watch. And sometimes, sometimes when they're doing the home decor, I'm just sitting there looking and I'm like, oh, that's nice. I'm gonna try that. And you don't have to necessarily do exactly what they do, but it's just kind of like the idea. The idea. And I forget all about it. I forget all about it. I forget all about it. I'm like, I gotta start being more consistent when there's something that I see that I like. You know what? Sometimes I forget about it because it's like, why go spend that extra money? I'll just watch it for now. It's fun to watch. But when it's time to spend that extra money, then you already have an idea. You have an idea of what you want to do, you know, and you know where you can go. And I'm like, oh, I like that. I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to go and do that. Okay. And then it's like a couple of weeks pass. No, you don't even probably, a lot of it is all about just redecorating. Some of that stuff is a matter of redecorating, knowing I'm not ready to do that. It's just like my parents used to say, it's just being long-eyed now. You're being long-eyed. You just do it. You just want to do it because you see it. You want to do it because you see it and it looks nice. And that's true. That's true. Sometimes you just want to do it because you see it and it looks nice. But the good thing about it is you know where the channels are. And you know you keep a mental, you know, you keep those ideas in the back of your mind. Okay? And so when you do decide to redecorate, you kind of know what you want to do. Unless something else comes up. You know how we see something today and we're like, okay, the next time I redecorate my living room, I'm going to do it, something similar to that. And then you redecorate your living room, it's time to redecorate. And it's like, nah, I want to do it a different way. Because by the time you decide to go ahead and do it, you feel like, that looks a little old now. I don't like that. But you can always go back. You can always go back to those channels and find something that you do like. Do you like the cleaning videos? I do. Yes. Oh my, Annie. The cleaning videos are therapeutic. The cleaning videos relax your mind. I feel like, we were talking about doing things to strengthen your brain, like the Sudoku puzzles. I always forget how to say it. Crossword puzzles, any type of number puzzles, all those different types of games. You know, just reading in general. You know, doing it to boost your mental, to boost your mind, to exercise your brain. When I watch those cleaning videos, I just feel relaxed. And sometimes that's what you need to do to give your brain a boost. It's just to relax. So when I watch those cleaning videos, it's so therapeutic. It's so therapeutic. Now, some people, they go to the spa and they feel better. And some people, they go to physical therapy. You know, they might not have anything really going on. Because let me tell you, you can get the best massages from a physical therapist, okay? I know that they have spas and stuff like this. But if you want a really, really good massage, schedule an appointment with a physical therapist who does that, like who does physical therapy, but also they take in clients and they just give massages. Y'all, when I tell you a physical therapist, a good one will give you one of the best massages you ever had. Oh my gosh, they know how, it's like you feel it. I used to always be like, what do they mean they feel it? They feel the knots. When I tell you, you go to a good massage therapist, and definitely if you go to a good physical therapist, you will quickly learn what they mean when they say, you're tight, I feel knots. Because, y'all, they'll smooth those knots out so good. It'll put you to sleep. It'll put you to sleep. And it says, oh my God, yes, and the cleaning videos are so therapeutic. Yeah, I hope this wind isn't bothering y'all, but it feels so, so good. I'm telling you, I think it's because of that hurricane. It's because of that hurricane. But I don't think, I know it did some damage. I need to watch the news and see because I don't want to say and be wrong. But I know it wasn't like one of the Ivans or the Katrinas. I know it wasn't like that. Stefan says, watching movies or content creators from other countries, realize how lucky or blessed you are in America because of a lot. Yeah, a lot of people around the world wish they have half the life. Oh my goodness. Stefan, and you know some people watch it and they still can't. They don't take from it. They don't take that from it. They don't take from it how much better people have it here. You know, now I know everybody doesn't have it better here. There are some countries that, you know, that you hear about and you're like, wow, I wish they did that in America. But I'm just saying some countries, they have it like those people are struggling. The countries themselves are struggling. Annie says, yes, Stefan. Yeah, the countries themselves, they're struggling. The people are struggling. And so always be thankful for what you do have, you know, because there's somebody somewhere else that has less. There's somebody somewhere else who wish they had more. There's somebody somewhere else who wish they had what you had, you know? And that's why I'm going back to the beginning when I was talking about seeing people on here willing to do anything to get monetized. I'm like, that must be a real good feeling. I'm sure it is because I know a lot of monetized content creators. So I know it's a good feeling. But sometimes I wonder, like, is it worth the headache that some people go through? Because not all people go through a headache, you know. But when I see the fussing, and then when I hear what they want to make, I'm like, huh? Like I said this on the last live, I'm like, go apply at Walmart. Be a greeter. You'll get that $200 that you're talking about that you're working for a month. You'll get it in a day. You'll get that in a day. You know, and some of them, y'all, are so hateful to other content creators who have like a good support from their subscribers. Some content creators have a substantial amount of support, and that's good. Ooh, y'all, I'm so nosy. I know I'm nosy. That's good. Some content, I mean, that's honestly, that's everybody's goal. If they're a content creator and they're monetized, their goal is to have financial support. You know, the goal is to have financial support. Or, you know, not even the support. The goal is to get on here and do the things that you need to do to, you know, generate revenue. Right? Like Annie was saying, some people make a living off of here. And that's great. But you have some people, y'all, they get so mad and they criticize the way other people handle their channels. And I'm like, you are doing the same thing. You're just trying to temper down what you do and do it in a way to make you not seem just as eager to get a cash app or a super chat. You're doing the same thing. You're trying to make money on here. Because let me tell you, if anything ever went viral from your channel and you raked in $10,000 for that month, are you going to give it back? Are you going to give it back? No, you're not going to give it back. It's going to feel good to you. And then you're going to try to duplicate whatever you did to get that. You're going to try to replicate it. You're going to try to do it again. You're going to try to figure out what was it about that particular video, live or short, that allowed you to command that kind of cash. You're going to do it again. So I get so tired of some people criticizing the way some content creators get their support, their financial support. If you want to make your memberships $100 and you're offering the best for that $100, that's your business. If you want to make it $10, if you want to make it $3, if you want to make it $1.99, if you want to make it 99 cents, you know, if you make yours 99 cents, guess what? You have no room, right, rhyme, or reason to criticize somebody who makes theirs 100. Okay? Because you're doing the same thing. If someone can give it to you and they give it to you, you're going to accept it. You're going to accept it. And it says, yes. And it says, Stefan Lines Pride. Do either of you watch Darman? No, I don't watch that. I've heard of that. And Annie, I've heard of it, but I don't even know what it is. Is it a crime drama? Is that a crime series? Because I've heard of it, but I've never watched it. See, I watch a lot of the YouTube little, like the, what do you call them? The little YouTube soap operas. Like, there are so many people. And I like the ones who do the pranks, the pranks and the gags. And of course, somebody is always in the comments laughing because it's hilarious. But then there's always somebody in the comments saying, y'all better stop doing everything for laughs and giggles. Y'all better stop that. No, it teaches great lessons. Okay. Darman. So is it on YouTube, Annie? Is it on YouTube? I need to check that out. Because, like I said, when you have spare time or when you're at work, it's always interesting to watch something new, something different. I have my channels that I watch faithfully. I enjoy those channels. But when you have extra time, or sometimes when you just want to see something different, it's nice to be able to see something different. Like, I watch the channels that do reviews on shows like, what is it? Love and Marriage Huntsville. I think it's now a Love and Marriage, is it Love and Marriage DC or Love and Marriage Detroit? Something. I think they've come up with a couple now. So I like to watch content creators that do commentary on those shows, or that review those shows. I do like to watch those type of channels too. And it says, yes, Stefan says, sometimes I ask who I sent the cash app to. not say my name, because sometimes it seems people get mad at me and stop speaking to me. Are you serious, Stefan? Wow. I mean, it's your money. It's your money. And you cash app, you cash app who you want to. But see, that goes back to, like we were talking about earlier, people will be critical or hypocritical of other people, and they honestly have no right to be. That's your money. You support who you want to support. You know what, Stefan? I think sometimes certain people feel like, well, if he or she can support that person, why don't they support me? They never support me like that. Well, guess what? It's Stefan's money. Stefan knows what he likes the most. He knows what he enjoys the most. So if that's what Stefan feels to support, maybe he just doesn't enjoy what you bring. You know what I'm saying? But people will do that. And it says, really, Stefan, wow. The videos teach you how to be kind and never judge others. You know what, Annie? That's that. I need to And this is YouTube. He's a YouTube channel, because I need to see. I need to find it. So I can see some of those lessons that he's teaching. Because like I said, nobody's perfect. And I'm a firm believer in, at some point in life, maybe you did it in your 20s, maybe you did it in your teens and 20s, maybe you did it in your 30s, maybe you did it in your 40s. But at some point, some people will in their 20s, some people will in their 30s, and some people will in their 40s, and on and on. But at some point, we need to be able to acknowledge and recognize our own flaws. I say that all the time, you know. And some things, people just, it's like it just irks them to say it's a flaw. Like they don't want to say they have any flaws. And if you're human, we have flaws. And I'm not talking about uh, the way you look. I'm talking about the way you act, the things you do. Now, we have some people who are truly, genuinely good people, like 99% of the time. But even some of those people can tell you at some point they had a flaw. And maybe that flaw is what has gotten them to the place where they are now. You know? So even the nicest people, the most sincere, genuine, the nicest people have flaws. Even if it's not, see, when you say flaw, people always think, I think people think evil or bad. And sometimes it can be bad, but there's levels of it, you know? You know? Because I always say that is one of my flaws is patience. And I've been I've been saying this forever. My patience, I would like for my patience to be a bit longer. I would like for my patience to be a bit longer. Okay? I'm not a very patient person. But that being said, I'm more patient than I used to be. I'm more patient than I used to be. So there's nothing wrong with acknowledging that. That to me, that's a because I think in life, the more patient you are, you know, it may not change the outcome of situations or of things, but it may help you mentally. It can help you mentally adapt, adjust, and deal with things. You know, if you say for instance you're standing in the line at a concert, and I'm talking about you don't have VIP tickets, right? You might have great seats, but they may not be VIP. So this line is long. You pull up and the line is still long. Me, after standing there for about 30 minutes or so, especially if I'm with somebody who's like, okay, just come back and get us, yeah, I will leave. Like, I'll leave. And you know that sometimes happens, like at concerts. That's just a simple example. But I'm like, I'll pay that money. And if the line is looking like that, especially if I got there early, because at that point I'm even more frustrated. Because then it starts spinning in my head like, well, should I have waited? Should I have gotten here late? Because my seats are going to be my seats. So that's why with stuff like that, especially when you know where your seat is, that your seat is your seat, I don't rush to be there early, unless I really want to see the opening, the beginning of the show and the opening acts. Because with my patience, if I got to stand in a line, a really long line, I'm gonna start to get very impatient, and I'm like, let's go. Or I'm like, look, y'all can stay. Let me see the keys. I gotta go. Stefan says, yes, some people get jealous. Yeah, yep, they do. They do, Stefan. They do. And you know, they will say something like, well, how do you know I'm jealous or whatever? But like you just said, when a person stops speaking to you, especially someone who likes, you know, to be supported financially, gifts, I'll say with gifts, you kind of start to think back. You're like, okay, maybe they've seen me supporting this person or that person. And you're like, okay, I haven't supported them in that way in a month or so, in a couple of weeks, or ever. Because it's your money, again, right? You support financially who you want to support. Not, you know, just because I think sometimes people feel like that they have a channel, the chat is full, you're supposed to support them, right? You're supposed to support them. They don't feel like, they don't look at it as in, it's your money and you do with it as you choose. You support who you choose. You support who you like. You know, they don't look at it that way, but they should. They should. And then everybody's human. Like I said, it's easier said than done to say you don't get ticked off about certain things. Me, if it's like uh, family and friends, yes. I feel like I do notice the difference in support. That's not on the app. I'm just saying, like, generally speaking now. If you notice that, say you have, say it's 4 friends, right? And say one friend loves to have events, okay? Say they throw a good party. They're good at it. They could be an event planner. They just like to party. They like to have a good time. They like for other people to have a good time. So every time they have an event, all 3 of the friends come, right? And the other friends, they have events from time to time. And so, say friend A is the one who's always at it, always got something going. And B, C, and D are always there. And then friend B and C, they have events from time to time. But guess what? The other 3 friends rarely come. They rarely come. Now, that could mean your events aren't popping. That could mean your events aren't popping. Or your events could be just fine. But you just notice that for some reason they don't support you the way they support your other friend. And so guess what happens though when you don't invite them? They get mad. They get mad. They'll get mad about it. And it's like, then I could see friend B or C or D say, look, every time friend A has an event, you guys are there, Johnny on the spot. First one there, second one there. And even if not that, you're there. You can count. She had 10 events during the year. You only missed one, if you missed one. But friend B had 4 events, and you guys only attended one of them, but you're all friends, and you're always talking about supporting each other. So I can see a person getting, kind of upset about that. They're gonna probably think, you know what, I need a new set of friends. But when it comes to, what people do, people do what they want to do. People do what they want to do. I could understand the disappointment in that more than I can understand the disappointment that someone gets mad at you for financially supporting somebody. You do what you want to do with your money. That's your money. And I know that makes it uncomfortable too, Stefan. I bet that makes it kind of, because, and it may not be that you didn't support them, but sometimes people just feel like, you know what, you can support 2 people equally, right? And one will still feel like they're due more respect or they're due more support. So you can respect 2 people equally. And you're not really trying to, figure out if you're doing it equally. But if you just look back over the history of your tube ship, you can kind of be like, okay, I've supported them pretty equally. Maybe one a little bit more, but maybe one a little bit less, but pretty much it's neck and neck. But you know what, Stefan? People watch your pockets more than you do. People watch other people's pockets more than they do. I'm like, and that's when they're supporters. How much they charge for their memberships. Maybe they offer something you don't offer. A lot of people who have memberships, they do giveaways. They do monthly giveaways. And the only thing that most of them usually ask is that you be a part of the membership. So stop worrying about somebody else's damn membership. Stop worrying about somebody else's pocket. Don't do that. If you're on YouTube, stop criticizing people who are making bank or making more money than you. Stop criticizing people for charging $10 for their membership, $20 for their membership. I have a membership where the highest tier is $100. It's a sporting membership. Do you guys know that they bank that man? They pay him like crazy because he makes the content. He does giveaways faithfully. He doesn't just say it. Hey Jill. Hey Lance Pride Chat. Hey Jill, welcome in the chat. Jill, we fussing a little bit. We fussing a little bit. Because you got people on here complaining about people's memberships. You know, you got people who get upset. Like Stefan said, if you support, if they feel like you financially support someone else, they get jealous. But yeah, if you're on YouTube, it's all about what you want to do. People always forget the you part of it. The you part of it. It's about that person and their channel. So YouTube is looking at each one of us and saying, you. As long as you stay within the guidelines, it's all about you and what you want to do. So stop fussing about people's memberships, because guess what? You don't have to join. They don't make you join. Now, I know some content creators are kind of pushy, or they may be like, she didn't join the membership. I would never do that, because you don't know what somebody's pocket is about. You don't know. Some people are barely making it. So I would never get mad about that. But I would definitely not be a content creator myself, y'all, and then sitting here saying, I'm only going to charge 99 cents. I'm going to charge 1.99. Well, that's you. If somebody else can command $5, $10, $25, $100, I say more power to them. You already know how much. I mean, sometimes you gotta ask for a lot. Y'all know how that works. Y'all know how that percentage thing is. And it says you don't have to join everyone's membership. Right, Jill. You don't have to join everyone's membership. And I learned early that I'll join a membership like 2 or 3 to support, and then I'll end those memberships and I'll support 2 or 3 other people. And then guess what? I cycle back around and support those people I've supported before, because people's money, like, that's, you can't count people. Like Stefan was saying, somebody thinks, maybe somebody gets upset sometimes when they see you financially support people. And that's what we're talking about. You got some people on here fussing about what people charge for their membership, or they're not really fussing about a certain content creator per se, but they're saying what they wouldn't do. But that's why we call this YouTube. It's YouTube. You handle your channel the way you would like. Memberships are a perk that YouTube allows the content creators, and that the content creators pass on to the subscribers. So I tell people when I join a membership, I may not say per se, look, I'm going to end this membership in 2 or 3 months. I might not do that, but they may miss me and see me not the little symbol. Usually you have a symbol. Well, guess what? Probably if it say it's winter time, you might see me November, December. January, I don't have it. February, I don't have it. Well, guess what? Then you might see me back in your membership again, March or April. That's because I was probably trying to support maybe 1 or 2 other memberships. Those $3, $4, and $5. If you do 10 people, that's $50 a month. If it's $5. So the memberships don't have to be expensive. To say someone is charging a lot for a membership at $5, you're wrong. That's not a lot. Things are just expensive. And if you're trying to support everybody, it's like Jill said, you don't have to join every membership. Okay, Annie. Annie says, ready to get my daughter. Have a great night, everyone. Thank you, Annie. I appreciate you being in the chat. I'm so glad to have you back. Come on back again, Annie. I missed you. Jill says, just join those who choose. Right, just join the memberships that you choose to. But it just kind of irks me. It's like, I don't know, Jill. It's like people are on here complaining about things that other people are doing. But at the end of the day, everybody's goal may not be the exact same. But if you're monetized, that's what is the base, what is the root of the word monetize? Money is the root of it. It's the hell, it starts with it. It ain't even in the middle. It's the root of it. So if you're on here to become monetized, how in the heck can you criticize what other monetized people do? How can you do that? The memberships have tiers. And like I said, I'm in a sporting membership. He has a tier of $100. And guess what? That $100 tier is tiering. Okay? Because you have the symbols representing the tiers, or however you want to do that. Certain symbols represent each. His $100 membership it's tearing, okay? Because he brings good content. He brings the stuff. He brings the entertainment. He ain't just talking about the NBA. He's talking about the NBA. He's making you laugh. You know, he's giving you an argument. You know, sporting people's like the people into sports like to argue. You know, usually it's just about sports, but they like to argue, and that's like it's exciting. It's exciting to see somebody talk about who's going to win the NBA finals, right? And only you, and you have a million channels doing it, but certain people do it a certain way. So guess what? I think he has like 150,000 something people, but his $100 membership, that thing is banging. It's banging. It's banging. So why get mad? And then I won't even say they get mad, but they're criticizing it, because this is criticism. You don't have to call out a person's name. You don't have to call out a person's channel. But if you say something like, I'm only going to charge this, this, and this, okay? Well, people who are charging anything over that may feel a type of way about you saying that, because it's almost like you're being very critical of them, when at the end of the day, you're doing the same thing. You're just charging a different amount. You're doing the same thing. You're just charging a different amount. Stefan says, good night, Annie. Great talk. Yes, thank you, Annie, for letting me know about those. You and Stefan, about the Nigerian, the movies, the people that you like in those Nigerian movies. Because I have been watching the Nigerian movies, and they really are good movies. They really are. So don't worry about what people charge, because you're not, 9 times out of 10, you're not joining their membership anyway. So it's just mind-boggling to see people be critical about content creators. Some content creators be critical about the way other content creators choose to handle their channels from a financial standpoint. I mean, if you became monetized, whether you have 500 subscribers or 500,000 subscribers or 5 million, if you chose to become monetized, then at bare minimum, all three, whether you're what, 1,000, 500, 1,000, 500,000, 5 million, all four, no matter how many subscribers you have, if you became monetized and you have 1,000 subscribers, the root of your monetization, or the root of you becoming monetized, is the same root as the 500,000 and the 5 million. Okay? Because YouTube offers a way to garner financial support. So they're taking advantage of it, and you're taking the same advantage. And if you only want to ask for $1.99, $2.99, $4.99, that's you. Don't criticize other people for asking for more. Everybody that I know, or that I pay attention to, that I support, they have an affordable tier, and they offer perks with each tier. Now, if you join a membership and they aren't offering any perks, that's a different story. Because I've seen people, they turn off their membership because they're like, well, you know what, I've been working, I've been doing this, I really haven't been doing anything. These people have been faithful, giving me $5, $10, $20 a month, and I haven't done a giveaway in months. I haven't done whatever in months. I haven't done this in months. I haven't, so sometimes people turn it off. And then sometimes people don't turn it off. They just leave it on because it's like they're really not expecting anything, because they're really not doing anything. But I just wish people would be more cautious. They're always talking about what they wouldn't do, what they wouldn't do, what they wouldn't like, what they wouldn't like. Let people run their channels how they want to run their channels. If people want to cash out them, then apparently they've done something, that they feel garnered a cash app. The person felt like they wanted to cash app them. They wanted to super chat them, super sticker. Apparently the person enjoyed their commentary, or they enjoyed something that they did, or maybe they just simply want to support. Sometimes you need just the encouragement. Sometimes it may not really seem like the person is doing anything. They may kind of seem like they're in a funk. And so a person just cash apps them, or they just super chats them, or whatever they do. But then again, sometimes people bring good content. They bring good content. They bring And it doesn't have to be that they bring it every day, but during the month's time, maybe only 5 days out of that month, they had really great content. Okay. And then maybe they do giveaways. So the money that they're earning, if they're creating good content, interesting content, they've earned that money. Leave people alone. Especially if they do giveaways, if they show that they appreciate your support. Did I say that Stefan said good night and great talk? I think I did. So just run your channel the way you want to run it. If you want to charge $1.99, you want to charge $3.99, $5.99, that's fine. Guess what? You're thinking just like the person who's charging 10, 20, and 100. It's about the monetization. Okay. Thank you, Stefan, for coming in here, hanging out with me. I appreciate you, bro, for coming in. Keep coming back. Keep coming back. I'm glad to have you. Good night, Lions Pride. About to go to bed. Love talk tonight. Yes, we had great. Look, we've been having a great couple of lives. Let's see. Badass was in here giving us all that news yesterday. he was really dropping some nuggets. He was in here chef finding his wine. A lot of people were in here yesterday, and I think you were in here yesterday too, Stefan. Either yesterday or the one before. No, not yesterday, because I worked late yesterday, and I did a ride live. I did a ride live like after midnight. So I think it was the day before. So thank you. Whenever it was, I remember you were in here. I appreciate you. Okay, you're appreciated, and I ain't gonna get jealous of you supporting nobody. Jill, thank you so much for coming in here, Jill. Like I always say, tell your subscribers, tell your moderators that they're appreciated. Tell YouTube that you appreciate them. Yeah, we fuss sometimes. Just like, hold on. Oh, y'all, that's so loud. Oh, that's loud. Yes, Stefan, thank you. I appreciate you. I'm just glad to have you here. I ain't worried about where your money is, okay? Okay? And that goes for any and everybody. As a content creator, don't worry about what people are charging for their memberships. Charge what you would like. People kind of change their stuff. If they don't have many people joining or a good number of people joining, they may lower it. They have a lot of people joining, sometimes they take it up, and sometimes they just leave it the same. But don't talk about that you know how people won't bash you about something, but they'll talk about it in a tone like you're doing too much or you're doing the most, or they're going to do it better than you because they're not going to overcharge. It's basically an implication behind what they're saying. And the implication is that you're charging too much. Don't worry about those people. You know who your audience is. Your audience knows you. Some people have their membership set at tiers, and if people want to join, they're going to join, no matter how much it is. If they want to join, they're going to join, no matter how much it is. Just worry about bringing good content that'll make people want to join your membership. That's the most we can ask for. That's the most we can ask for. And if you join it and you need to stop, do that. You don't have to explain that why you stop. Don't expect people to explain why people stop. Like I said, sometimes people support maybe 3 channels, and then after a little bit, about 2 or 3 months, they do another 2 or 3 channels. After that, they do another 2 or 3 channels. Honestly, that's a good way to kind of spread the love. That's a good way to spread the love. And I know when you see a person leave your membership, I know it's like, ugh. But guess what? Just keep promoting your membership so that somebody else can join. Encourage someone else to join. And a lot of times that person that left, they'll be back. They'll be back after they're done supporting other people. They'll be back when maybe they can afford it. Believe it or not, $10, can still get some people a meal. It may be a happy meal, but it can still get some people a meal. Okay? So if you want to charge something, charge it, whatever it is. But don't try to how can I say this? Don't try to criticize, slyly criticize other people for charging more than what you charge. Don't do that. Don't do that. YouTube allows you to charge whatever you want to charge. And if you feel like keeping yours low will garner more people, do that. People put the prices that they feel are okay. Okay? Okay. So thank you guys. Annie's picking up her daughter. Annie, I hope you guys have a safe trip picking up your daughter. Stefan, have a good night's sleep. All of you guys have a good night's sleep. Okay, remember, we want to work the body, make sure we don't hurt the body. That includes our brain, okay? Read, read, read. Even if you find that it's boring, if you don't like to read, read. Work that brain, okay? Give it some stimuli. Stimuli, plural. You can read, you can do puzzles, you can do games. Stimulate the brain. Give it some stimuli, okay? Or start with a stimulus. Start with one, okay? Just like we want to work those muscles in our arms, our legs, our heart muscle, we want to work the brain as well, okay? Do some brain, some games. Do some strength training for the brain, okay? Strength training for the brain. Do some strength training for the brain. And relax, okay? Relax. 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 Get somewhere when it's time for you to get that me time. Don't just sit down and say, okay, I'm gonna watch a TV show. Like, get deeper with it. Get deeper with it. Take you some deep breaths in and out. In and out. Do you some stretches. Stretches. You don't have to, of course you want to stretch when you warm up. We want to think radar. Stretch, warm up, work out, cool down, and stretch. Okay, stretching on both ends. The front end and the back end. Okay? The front end and the back end. Just like R and R on radar. Okay? And those three middle, hold your fingers up. Those three middle fingers, you got your warm up, you got your cool down, and in the very middle, you got your workout. It's my dinner, okay? My warm up is my appetizer. My workout is my entree. My cool down is my dessert. All right? Now there's Lion's Pride. Appetizer, entree, dessert. Breaths in and out. Wherever you are, if it's windy, if it's kind of breezy in your area, open your windows. Open your windows. Or go sit on the porch. Go sit on the porch. Stand outside. Stand outside. Remember, try. I know we can't always do it, but try to carve out a time of the day to have some me time so that you can relax, truly relax, release, relate to the things that you can, and to those you can't, it'll come in time. Some things we never understand, we never get to understand, but you can still try to relax, release, relate, okay? Refocus, resolve, reset, regroup, and restart. We like the R words over here. So I'm going to see you guys hopefully tomorrow on the next Let's Walk and Talk Live. Thank everybody for the conversation in the chat. Thank you for dropping nuggets. We drop nuggets over here and we pick them up. The nuggets are dropped to be picked up. Okay? And if that nugget can't help you, hopefully it can help a family member, a friend, a classmate, a co-worker, a church member, the lady in the grocery store. Okay? Hopefully So drop nuggets when you know some things. Drop them, because we don't professionally, medically, clinically assess, diagnose, treat, or evaluate. We just drop nuggets from a layman's perspective, hoping that you can pick those nuggets up, research them, and take them to the people, the professional people, who can help you decide on how to utilize those nuggets. Now, sometimes we don't need nobody to help us to decide how to utilize those niggas, right? Because sometimes the niggas are just food, having a good time, and things of that nature. So don't you guys let bother people bother you. They can be funny, but don't let them bother you. Don't let stress people stress you out, and don't allow them to pull you into their misery lounge. Okay? Don't. Okay? Yes, in some cases, misery loves company, but in some cases, those people are miserable. They just want to make somebody miserable. Don't let that somebody be you. And if it ends up being you, GYGAG, grab your grip and go. Okay? Grab your grip and go. So I'm getting sleepy, y'all. I will see you guys on the next live walk and talk in Lions Pride. Bye, y'all.